Hey everybody, or whoever's watching that is. So here I go again, walking in the park. So I probably told some, well, I don't know, I looked at my videos and it said I hadn't made one in a month. And that's crazy because I think I made one, I think I did something with a sleep muff thing or something like that. I don't know why I say I didn't make one. But anyway, I'm over here walking around the park, and if you hadn't already known about it, I guess I'll tell you again. So I quit my job the first of the month. Well, right there at the first of the month, 29th September. I quit. I kind of gave it like a resignation, immediate resignation, quit type of thing. I tried to make it a formal quit, but I didn't give the notice that I should have given. But because they needed the job I was trying to get on with and everything, they needed somebody to work immediately. So I decided, okay, I'll go for that. So I was like, look, I'm tired of the old malarkey with a couple things y'all doing, so I'm gonna go ahead and quit. I'm gonna start my other job. So I was supposed to start the following Tuesday of what was it, October 2nd or 3rd something, but instead I started like October 6th, 7th or something like that. And I worked there, and I was working along with this kid, and he was like, you know, a little know-it-all, I was a little shit. But you know, he's alright, he wasn't too bad, but he mostly tried to get me to do everything. He's one of those kids, he's big and chunky, but everybody loved him and everything. He's like 25 something. And one thing he hated doing is bending over. So if he dropped his pen, I usually was the nice guy. I tried to get it for him and everything. And he wanted me to get the totes. We got these little machine that cuts out little things for acoustic stuff. Because I was at a place called Creative Foam, and it cut out little things for your cars. And so it would, you know, we'd have a whole pile of cutout stuff. And I picked mine up, throw it in the bin, and I pick his up too, and try to be nice. And he just seemed to kind of overlook it. Hey, big grasshopper, locust. But anyway, big old locust. There he goes. And right between my legs. But anyway, it wasn't too bad. It just annoying little shit. Excuse my language, but I tried to deal with it, and my back got to hurt and everything, and twisting so much, and my knee was already bothering me. So all those things was kind of compiled together, and he was getting me to do getting these totes that really ain't got no business lifting all by yourself, you know, and you have to fold them out, big plastic totes, you know. So I was getting those, I was all that together, and we were setting up on different things, and hello. And so anyway, I just got to hurting. My back was hurting, my knee was hurting, and that was my first night working there. It was like 8 days ago, so it was a week and a day ago that I worked out there. And so I thought, you know, I was going there thinking, like, hey, I'm gonna be fine. I've been working security 7-8 months and walking around the building and feel a whole lot better than I did. I got used to it and stuff. But you know, yeah, right, okay. Fooled myself on that one. You know, a lot of twisting and turning. Like I said, my knee was already hurting, and just made things worse. And the darn standing on concrete floors, no padding. And so I didn't quite understand it because that's pretty much what we did when I was working with Securitas. I mean, at an Amazon place. But the thing about it is, there were times when we get to sit down and stuff whenever it wasn't busy. So, but then we do a tour and it will be all around the whole big building. It's a pretty good tour. So, about a month ago, over a month ago, I found myself sleepwalking. Well, I didn't know that I was sleepwalking. I went to one place, and then the next thing I know, it was kind of like lights out. And then the last thing I remember was waking up, pretty much. And I took off my security vest, high-vis vest, and I didn't know I took it off. I was holding it in my hand. I'm like, what in the world? I woke up and like, what in the world am I doing? So I was like, this is crazy. And that was the first time in a long time that I know that I slept walk like that. And if I sleepwalk, I kind of halfway know that I'm sleepwalking. But this one, I didn't even know it. That was weird. But anyway, so I left that job, and because there were some things going on with the schedule that the account manager was getting a little crazy on, and I had the opportunity to go to work, even though it was with a temp company, with this other place that was a little bit closer. The money wouldn't, but like $15 an hour, but it was a little bit closer, I didn't really mind it. And it was right across from where I used to work, do security at. So anyway, did that, and I quit with them. And then the next day, I went and filled out all the stuff at Customer Driven, and I was supposed to go to work the next day, but I asked them if I could, kind of go to work within a couple of days after that, and some stuff come up, and it turned out to be Monday. So I went Monday, I think it was the 6th, and so like I said, I tired out. I don't know why. I think it really is just the way my knee was hurting me. It kind of tired me out quicker and everything like that. And I had arthritis in my knee, and I probably had just gotten, being a little over a week out of work doing security, I kind of got a little chubbed out, or something like that, and just sitting around, So anyway, here we are over a week later, and no job, because they said that I had to end my assignment because I went home. I said, didn't say I couldn't. I'll let somebody know. I said, I'm sorry, but my back was killing me. I didn't really have much help. The kid, I call him a kid because I'm twice his age. I said, I didn't get much help from the kid. I ended up doing most of the stuff, So I was like his little helper. He wasn't really showing me that, and I had to ask questions. I was asking a bunch of questions. So I ain't got no income coming in other than those 5 or 6 hours that I worked. And I already got paid. My last payment was from Securitas last Wednesday. So I got bills coming up and everything, and this month happens to be the month that I should have just stayed on with Securitas and dealt with it. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Hindsight's 2020. Seriously. But the things that they were doing there, I just put up with it up and down stuff, just roller coaster stuff. Sometimes it's all right, other times it's okay. But it's just stupid, wanting people. They couldn't keep nobody there. Uh, People either come in late or they get intimidated by taking the stuff that you had to take for Amazon and for being the security guard there and everything. And they were just, wow. And then we had one guy that they hired, an older gentleman. Oh gosh, his legs were bad, but he was really enthusiastic, jumped up the stuff. He was like in his 60s, and really he didn't need to be there. He was just, that job wasn't for him. And I think about it sometimes. I hope that old gentleman is taken care of, or he just says, nah, I'm not working this place, I'm moving home. But anyway, being that I quit like that, I didn't have no notice in, so the HR guy said, yeah, sorry, we can't take you back because you quit without notice. Like, oh, okay, well, ain't like I done it before. I said, the last time I quit without, well, I said, well, how did I say that? I said, there's one other time I didn't quit with notice, and I just changed jobs because I wasn't working as much. Yeah, that might be a little bit different. I was like, well, okay. Thing of it is, we didn't have nobody to actually really cover you being off, so it was kind of, we didn't have time to look for anybody. I was like, okay, well, I get it. So no problem. And I just think in a lot of ways, it's best if I just go ahead and just not even go back to Securitas anymore. Because the first time I started working with them was back in February 2008. And so I carried on to about August 2008 because I was in South Carolina. And then, let's see, I went from there. Okay, I moved here in August 2008, 17 years ago. And so, I just pretty much traded offices. I kind of took off for a month. Then I went to the Securitas office here in Chattanooga, over in Chattanooga, and started with them. And worked with them from 2008, about September 2008, next to October 2008, until about 2019, a little over 11 years. So I had a little awards thing up until about 10 years, stuff like that. And then I left with them about, April or whatever, and went to work for a temp company. Worked for that company several months in a place that we did security at. And then I left there, done a few other things, went back for the same company, Securitas, a little over 3 years. Stopped with them, went to another temp company again, and then also worked at another security company that did mall security, which was the mall that they have in Bradley. It's called Bradley Square Mall. It's just, there ain't really much to it, I'll tell you that much. Now, I'm thinking about it, I might go there tomorrow, just for the hell of it. But there's not really much to it rather. And so I did that for a few months. Then I went and did the Randstad thing again. Did that for 4 or 5 months. I got sick. Okay, this is my third lap. I got sick, and But I worked for like 3 days and they let me go. Decided they wouldn't let me go. It wasn't Randstad, but it's somebody contracted under Randstad that we were under. And they're like, well, here's L6. So we're on. And one Randstad told me one thing and they tell me another. So I was out and I got on unemployment till about, oh shoot, about 3 months or something like that. Went to work with Walden Security, and probably about February 2024, something like that. I think 23, 24, yeah. Worked till about December with them this past year, and they were really picky, finicky about certain things. And first time I even got there, somebody said, you know, he's asking a lot of questions. Well, that's what I'm supposed to do. When I see somebody walk through there that I find suspicious, I ask questions. I ask if everybody's okay. Try to do my job. Worked there for about 9 months altogether. Then they wanted to try that crap again, and some girl there, some patient access clerk, was the first. We got along real great, and I just heard a lot of her bad mouthing patients, and I just said, you know, maybe she shouldn't do that, and you know, and stuff like that. And I recall several times going on tours and stuff, leaving my phone at the desk, and their offices are right beside ours, and they would use our wall charger to charge their phones up. So sometimes I leave my phone there and everything, and I come back and I notice it was in different positions that I didn't leave it in. I said, I bet she's looking on my phone, because that's the one that mostly comes in here and charges the phone up. Well, go to find out, that same girl about got another guy over here in Etowah fired, just running her mouth, you know. So put two and two together, and I'm like, man, I wish I wasn't so, not that I wasn't so nice to her, or was nice to her, I just wish I kind of listened to people and not really talk to her very much. But that kind of ended, and next thing you know, I was out of work for a couple of months, and then I started back with Securitas back a couple of days before my birthday, February 26th, and I went to work with them at Amazon. Worked there until a couple weeks ago, the 28th of September. So, you know, 15, 16 days ago. And so, like I said, I went to work for this new job, staffing agency, and I just got to hurting real bad, and I'd been out of work for about like a week, a little over a week, and so, you know, got to hurting in my hips and back, and my back pretty much, and my knee. And like, I thought, wow, I just can't keep on with this. And I let somebody know, but it was like 10 or 15 minutes after I left. One of my mom's friends that was a team leader, I just couldn't find him right off, so I was hurting so bad. I was like, wow, you know, I let him know. So, okay, we'll see you tomorrow then. I'm like, okay, great. And sorry about that. No problem. Hope you feel better. I thought, oh, well, thanks. Hope so too. But I kind of knew in my head, because I left my badge there. I left it in a little thing to going into the office. I kind of knew it in my head and my heart. Oh, they ain't gonna like this very much. So I might as well go ahead and put my badge up. But I was hopeful that maybe I can get back in. But anyway, one of the managers from the staffing agency called me. Yeah, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to end your assignment with them. They didn't tell me why, specifics. I said, well, that's okay. I kind of get why, it's all right. You know, but I was like, I'm sorry, I was really hurting my back, my knee, and the dude that I was working with really didn't help me too much. And what I should have done is when I went to the one of the guys that was there kind of in charge, who went to school with my son. Hey, bro, look at here, bro. I need you to talk to this little dude here. Or dude, he was little. I mean, like, I feel like I'm his damn little helper over here. He's benefiting more off me than I am benefiting off of him training me, showing me what to do and everything. But I didn't do that. I didn't try to make a scene. So anyway, just ended the night going home, tired, a little dirty, sweaty. Took a shower, felt better, lay down, and the lady called me and said, well, we'll have to end your assignment. I'm like, oh, we'll find something else. I'm like, oh, well, that's great. So I wait a little less than a week, and I finally decided to file unemployment again for the third time in 2 years, within 2 years. Filed unemployment. So file that. If something comes up, if I get a job, that'll be great. But until that time, I'm just gonna go see if I can get unemployment again, because I got these humongous bills. Whew. I got a loan, I got a mortgage, I got insurance, house insurance, and I got car insurance, truck insurance rather, and I got a membership thing I gotta pay. My Capital One thing on my credit card I gotta pay. Got a light bill I gotta pay. My son, it just so happens at the same time I was switching jobs, he did too. He went back to his old job about the same time I was going to another job. And so we've done that a time or two before. Like, dang, son, what are we doing? Reading each other's minds? Oh, no, Dad, I just think it's better over here. So he usually gives me some money for the light bill and everything. And I'm like, what's going on? You ain't got no money to spend it everywhere? No, it just ain't got it right now. I'm changing jobs. Get paid in 2 weeks. I'm like, oh. And he's asking me for money, so he can get by. I'm like, son, I ain't gonna have none pretty soon. I got enough in the bank right now, but as soon as I get paying these dang bills, that's gonna be knocked down considerably. And if I don't have no job, I don't know what the world I'm gonna do if I ain't got no income coming in. So I figure, well, go ahead and that's what it's for. That's what unemployment insurance is for. And they asked me if I wanted them to take out taxes. I said no. What I should have done, yes, take the taxes out. That way I ain't got to mess with that in a year. Matter of fact, the taxes come back this year. I got to do the 1099G thing from getting unemployment last year. And on top of that, I got to pay $700 or $800 in county tax and city tax. That's ridiculous. The fact that we got to pay county tax and city tax is freaking ridiculous. I think you should split the difference. We should pay half, or maybe a little bit more, probably about $400 or $500. The city and county tax. Because people who live out in the county, they don't have to pay county tax. People who live in the city have to pay both. That's stupid. Stupid as all get out. Okay, I think I'm on my fourth lap. Whew. Getting a good little workout here, y'all. I ain't walked this much since what was it, January? first of the year. You can come here, walk it, doing these live videos, walking around the track here. Yeah, so I think I'm on my 4th lap. Yeah, 4th lap. I usually do seven laps. At least that's what I used to do. But anyway, it's a bit frustrating putting up with these people. I think what it is, I have some kind of general anxiety or something. I don't know, man. It must be me. Nobody else but me. It's all my fault. So, trying to get down lower. Not lower. Trying to get more laps in. Trying to keep. I ain't done this in about 2 weeks, other than what I was doing on Monday. I stand up the whole time. Wasn't really walking last Monday. So it's been about 2 weeks since I did the long walks, So kind of got to catch back up. And I found that on my last doctor visit, the woman said, the PA said, whenever I did last year at the time, well, not really last year, less than a year, whenever I was unemployed and everything back in January. Last time I was on unemployment, first got on, I had like pre-diabetes, stuff like that range. But over a month ago, whenever they checked me out, my A1C was down to normal. So considering the crap that I eat at the Chinese place and even that Waffle House, that's pretty good, but my blood pressure was a little bit high. Like 150 or 100, something like that. Of course, if they would have checked it again, it would have been lower. But just a couple times it was 140, 149 over 95. So that wasn't very far, close to 150 over 100. But she wants me to get that down. I'm like, yeah, for both of us, me and you, and particularly me. So, all right, y'all, getting on my 5th. I'm gonna do 7 of them. Just be done with it. Whew. Okay, so line up with the tree. Here's number 5. 5th lap. So I don't know. There's some of those old ones might still be on there. You can see what I was going through at the time then. A year ago, well, not quite a year ago, but almost a year ago. It was like 10 months ago, 9-10 months ago. So, I don't know. I really do miss working at the hospital. I really enjoyed working there. I really did, y'all. And I don't know why, or who, or said what to get me out of there, but I don't know what I did, what I said so much. They got me dismissed from there, and I put something on there about certain people because I didn't like the way I was treated. Then they tried to get me banned for coming there. Then I talked to the administrator. The administrator said, "Nah, you're not banned. You can come here anytime you want, as long as within doing what you need to do." Like, oh yeah. And I talked to the security supervisor, and 1 minute he's all nicey nice, then next minute come there like a couple weeks later, about a month later almost, a few weeks later, he's like, "Yeah, man, what do you need? What do you need?" I just want, I come here to do something about a bill. Well, it ain't got nothing to do with us. I said, "I know it ain't got nothing to do with you. I'm trying to handle a bill, but I just want to let you know what the administrator told me." "Oh, okay, well, we got an email." And he just acted like he was about to kill him. So I thought, maybe he is the one that got me out of there for something, for whatever reason, because I remember that same morning he relieved me, he was extra nice about something. He gave me a little aluminum Jesus Saves thing. I wonder what else he gave me this for. I didn't understand. I didn't know why. I thought about it several times sending it back to him. Think, he needs it more than I do. But I hadn't yet. I hadn't done it yet. Whew. So I still think I might do it though. But I met some pretty cool people there. We got to become friends. 3 or 4 ladies I really enjoyed talking to. And they just kind of helped me out. And of course they knew I was going to be there doing my job and everything. And I don't understand why they let me go, probably because of that girl or whatever, but sometimes I think about that place and it just flashes of memory keep coming in, because like I said, I really enjoyed working there. I really enjoyed the people, and most of the people anyway, like the nursing supervisors. There's this one nurse supervisor, man, we hit it off real good. We got to become pretty close friends, and I love going to work talking to her. And I loved it when she worked. She was a good friend and everything, and really friendly and outgoing. But she could be serious. She can get on the ball, boy. She can get on people when she wanted to. Get people straightened out quick. So, I don't know. When I think about it, though, I think back about it. I think, well, maybe it was because I did something maybe I shouldn't have done, There's this one time I was pretty hungry and my stomach was acting up. And I don't know what it was. It was just, it was odd though, because when I was working there, I kind of felt a little sick at times. I don't know what it was, but after I stopped working there at the hospital, I didn't feel that way no more. So it must have been something there, or it must have been psychological, or it just must have been COVID or something floating in there. I don't know. So could have been something. But anyway, I just know I felt a whole lot better. There was these waves and stuff. Sometimes I'd feel sick, sometimes I was all right, and maybe it was nerves, maybe it was dealing with certain people. Don't know. But once I stopped working there, I kind of felt a whole lot better. I was taking famotidine somewhat because there was like this pressure in there or whatever. I was taking that for a while. And it seemed like, I don't know, it just seemed like from October 2 years ago to about December this past year, I had to get that sickness because I had a pancreas thing, man. I threw up, I had a temperature. The doctor told me my pancreas was swollen up a bit. And I lost all this weight. I got thin. I went from 330, 340 down to 275. That's what it was last time I weighed in at the doctor's office about a month ago. I said it was 275. I was like, wow, that's what it was last year. Well, several months ago, it wasn't quite a year. So I've been around about the same weight. And even though I kind of stay at this weight, my blood pressure's still a little bit high even though I lost weight. But a good thing about it is my A1C is a lot lower. Yeah. So that's good. All right. Here we are with going to number 6. I'm gonna do one more after that. Call it a night. I don't think what I've already walked, I walked at Amazon. I think it was a little less than this, probably a lap or two less. But I'm gonna go ahead and do it anyway since I did it before. I used to walk like 3 or 4 last year. And I said, heck with it, I'm going to do a few more, and heck with it, a few more. Turn about 7. One time I did in about 9 laps. So it says one lap is about 1,600 feet. So 1,600 feet is about the whole length of the Amazon building, long ways. So about half of that is 750. So I figure if I do about 7 of those, that pretty much more than takes care of what I was walking at Amazon. You know, being I'm steadily walking. I'm not going to bathrooms and checking them out, writing down stuff like I did before. I'm sure I ain't sleepwalking. But anyway, yeah, I like that job. I like the job at Amazon. But you know, account manager and back gate supervisor, they just were really bad about gaslighting people. Says, oh, well, this person didn't show, so that means you got to do their shift. There's nothing in there that says you got to change your shift for what you're supposed to work to another person's shift. You know, that it's mandatory. There's nothing in there that says that. You know, or what they did was manipulate it to make it say that for their own needs, so they didn't have to get up and come in. Hell, whenever I worked at Mayfield and I did what I did, somebody didn't come in, I had to work it. If I couldn't get nobody else to come in, I had to work their shift. I didn't like it, but I did it. You know, well, it was morning shift, night shift. Usually I had somebody come in. I had this one guy, he was just dedicated. And everything I taught it showed him, man, he could have, if they would have went on with it at that time, he could have been a great supervisor. But they ended our contract, and then they reinstated it several months later to being out in the parking lot. Then it went from that to a couple of years later to doing whatever I was doing. They started giving me from $12 an hour to $15 an hour. Then I got a little sick for something other. Then I went back out to another place there, and somebody kind of got me pulled out because I wasn't feeling good, and they misunderstood what I said. And and then we just went through watching the boiler. Because here in Tennessee, certain sizes of boilers you have to pay attention to every 20 minutes. So anyway, whew, there's that. But I applied earlier today for this job at a behavioral thing for working with teenage boys, 12 to 17, life coach. Oh boy, that was something. I thought, well, maybe I won't. Maybe I get a call, maybe I won't. Hey, Wabbit. Oh, that's a quail. Straight neck quail. Thought it was a rabbit. But anyway, kind of anxious to see how that's going to work out. Back in my younger days, back in 97, 98, 27 years ago, 28 years ago, I did martial arts, taekwondo. I was a blue belt on a black belt club. So I had like a blue belt with a black stripe on it. I used to warm the kids up, young teenager boys up for an instructor. Me and him were pretty close. And I went there quite a bit, and me and my girlfriend at the time, she had 2 kids. They were going there, and then eventually stopped, and I kept going because I just felt like I was needed in the getting student of the year award, 1998. I did something with a flight. I don't know what I did with it. I did in South Carolina. But anyway, one thing led to another, and we kind of parted ways. I didn't, at least the martial arts, got to doing other things, and met my wife 2001, and whew, yeah, buddy, that was a crazy 5 years. Had our son and moved here in 2008 because she opened, not because of anything, she got put in prison for doing stupid stuff for 17 years. She got out about 2 years ago, 2023 was it? And so yeah, one more lap. 2023, and several months ago, she just, instead of me divorcing her, she decided she wants to divorce me. Like, okay, fine with me. I told the judge I don't feel good about paying something others. Ow. 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 Like, Your Honor, I just don't feel like that I'm in this state. She wants to divorce me. I don't see why I should even pay anything toward her divorcing me. Court costs, whatever. So, anyway, the final decisions decree that took place a few months ago. So we're still waiting on the final thing to sign and all that stuff. And I ain't got it yet, and I don't care how long it takes right now. I dang sure can't pay any kind of court costs a half. If it's $500, I'd just shoot. $250 might hurt my pocket. I got bills to pay. And if I don't pay it, give me a bench warrant. And I don't know what that might do, but I just won't look good. I don't have anything against me like that, so I was arrested one time for something she did, and you're blaming me for something I knew for criminal domestic violence. I didn't even touch her, wasn't even there. Her boyfriend evidently beat her up, and she got me put in jail or something, or she got in a fight with him or argument, whatever. I didn't see anything on her, and I was bringing my son back, but to her. What I should have done is got him in the car and took him, met my dad. But anyway, they came there, and I tried to explain 2 things to them. And I was like, okay, whatever. So did the whole handcuff thing, put me in the car. I called people to do the transported me. He was real nice, great guy, great sheriff, deputy. And I tried to explain to him, and he was like, oh, man, there's a problem. I see you didn't do anything there, but I can't say that in front of them. It is like, dude, it's okay. It was a black guy too. But anyway, got it all settled eventually. And next thing you know, she got out, and a couple weeks later, she wanted my help. So you want my help, and you just got me put in jail for something I didn't do. On drugs real bad. Stole my car, pretty much tore up the transmission. I went and got it. I had an extra set of keys. Smart decision on my part to have an extra set of keys. Got that thing. And we drove it off. It was like cold. all frosty and stuff. And I was looking down at the window like Ace Ventura because I couldn't hardly see. And I was trying to turn in the driveway of somebody's house because I parked my grandmother's car there, you know. So I just have to say, can I park my grandmother's car here? Because I don't want trying to get my car and take it back, and I'll come back and get it. Oh yeah, sure. So I went to go pull my car in. I kind of ran off the side of the driveway into the ditch, and the dude had to pull me out. And lo and behold, go to find out, I started driving a while. She messed my transmission up because she's not been out of gear when we're driving along, and I was taking her home. And but anyway, that day, I took my car to my grandmother's. Got my grandfather to come take me back to the house where my grandma's car was. What I should have done is I got him to wait for me at the end of the driveway in his truck. That's what I should have done. He would have done that if I would have asked him. But I didn't want him involved in case she would have done something stupid. Anyway, she got to walking and everything, and she ended up robbing somebody still in the van, and was going back to my grandma's house with her car. About 4 or 5 sheriff's deputy boys, choo 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 choo. Man, they were gone, boy. They were hauling ass. And you got to find out she stole somebody's car. Went to Ohio. Got herself in trouble with a couple of black guys. No offense towards them. They got off better than she did because she hurt 2 elderly ladies. Got herself 17 years in prison, Ohio Reformatory for Women. And she got out a couple of years ago. And so now she has this all-important job. And she had an important job. We were talking a few times on good talking terms. And then she decided that she didn't want to talk all nice anymore. And then she tells the judge she ain't got a good job. She didn't want to pay this, pay that. Even though she's the one that initiated the whole divorce thing. I was just trying to wait. I could have divorced her about 9-10 years ago. But I decided to wait because I didn't want to do it. And whenever I did try to divorce her and everything, I had to take this parenting class. So I'm like, okay, look. I told Ollie, I said, look, let's just go ahead and drop this. Give me some of my money back. And he was really like, oh, like, come on, man, just give me my money back. I ain't going to go through this. I'm going to wait till my son gets a little older. And so that's what I was intending to do. And then she decided she wanted to divorce me several months ago. I'm like, okay, fine with me. Good enough. I can move on, you can move on. I ain't had no woman in 17 years. I ain't had nobody. I ain't had no relationship. No kind of thing. 7 laps. Golly, that seems like it was forever. How many minutes? 48 minutes? Yep. That's about right. That's what I did last time. About close to 50 minutes. I would have done another one. It would have been almost an hour. 8 or 9 of them. Whew. My right hip is hurting now. Got my exercise in. It's not worth taking a shower for. Might be a good thing I'm doing this because I might never know when they might want to put me on a job site for the staffing agency. Get myself back in shape. A little over 2 weeks of lethargy and not walking or whatever, you know. Lethargy. Is that what you call it? Lethargy or lethargy? Oh, in either case, burned off some calories. So 1,600 feet times 7, 10 would be 16,000, wouldn't it? So you deduct 16 times 3 is 6, 12, 18, 48. So 4 from that would be probably about 11,000, 12,000 feet all around.
what about a little over a mile, a little over 2 miles, maybe. I don't know. Maybe 2 miles. I don't know. Don't seem like it because it was just pretty much just a big old track, big old circle. You know. Oh, mercy. Go home and take a shower. Anyway, so there we go. I'm gonna sweat a little bit. Pasty. Kind of clammy. Well. Hey, y'all. Thanks for watching. Whoever watched. Thanks for the 4 thumbs ups. And thanks for being part of my life, listening to me. For being there. Y'all have a good one. God bless. Take care. I gotta get my tail out of this slump, man. I gotta get back to work. This can't happen again. This cannot happen again. A third time I filed for unemployment within 2 years between October 2023. I forgot what date it was. They let me go, but I think it was after the middle of the month. And here we are in the middle of the month now of October. And so it's 2023, 2022, 2024 rather, and now 2025. But the good thing is, the reason why I remember it so much, I think it was a day or two after, or probably, I think it was the first week right after they took the hostages in Israel. So this is a good, this kind of helps me remember what I'm going through because of what happened then. And I was so glad to see that the hostages, they released the hostages and everything, the 20 remaining hostages, and they're supposed to release the bodies of the ones the 28. I think they already got 8, now they got another 20 to go over the bodies of the hostages, and of course the other hostages were let go, the living hostages. But you know what it seems like to me is they're going to do this over again because they got like what over 1,500, 2,000 Palestinians and going back to Hamas. So every time they released people back in to every time they released hostages, they got more prisoners out of the prisons that were Palestinians or that were probably in part of Hamas. So what are they going to do now? So they're seeing that, well, hey, the hostages aren't really benefiting us. We can do a whole lot more if we had the people who are on our side and everything helping us to do whatever we needed to do. So I think Israel was kind of crazy on that part to release all those those prisoners, those Palestinians, and to get back very little. They got very little and gave out a lot, and they did everything they could do to de-escalate trying to start anything with Hamas. They kept the promises. They did what they were supposed to do. But still, Hamas and those like them, the terrorist groups, Hamas and Hezbollah, and what's the other one? The Houthis. They're going to take advantage of the situation. They're going to take advantage. They're going to try to crap again. They're going to rearm. They're going to do all this other stuff. We know it. I mean, they might not have a whole lot of weapons or whatever, but at least they don't have hostages. That was pretty dumb on their part. Technically speaking, if you want to get technical about it, it's pretty dumb on their part to let a few remaining hostages go because now, if they have all those people coming back into them, all those prisoners, and they're going to try to rearm up and recruit back up, and they're going to have to deal with that all that rubble and stuff. Now they think they got an army now. They got the army built back up. If they ain't got a whole lot of weapons, they got the army built back up. What are they going to do? You know, are they going to overrun the borders again? And take hostages? I doubt it. So maybe it was just a distraction. I don't know. Maybe it's something the Houthis and the Hezbollah has in plan. With Iran. But we'll see. Al Qaeda or whoever. But anyway, hey y'all have a good one. Sorry to tuck your ears off. And God bless, take care. How about pray for me, pray with me actually, that I get a better job and I won't have to do this for a fourth time, looking for a better job. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, take care and see you later. God bless.